Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. For pricing on this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform, reach out to me directly, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. Today we're discussing a model that was launched as part of a series of vintage tributes to IWC's past production in the 2008 model year. This is the IWC Vintage Pilot Watch, hand-wound 1936. Reference 3254-01 in stainless steel. It is 44 millimeters in diameter, relatively svelte, 11.8 millimeters thick, and 53 millimeters lug-to-lug, with a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now, when I throw it on my wrist, this homage to the original IWC Pilot's watch is broad, but big is the look, and it's not ungainly like the big Pilot's watch. It doesn't feel like a goof or a novelty. This is a watch I could wear every day. Because it is thin, you could easily wear it underneath a sleeve, and you can see that the lugs actually curve pretty tightly at the end. So though it's right out to the edge of my wrist at 53 millimeters lug to lug, it's not actually obviously past the edge of my wrist. So I'd say even if your wrist is 15 centimeters circumference, you're still going to wear this one well. So 15 centimeters circumference and up to wear this watch. Taking a quick look at the strap. It's appropriate to a pilot's watch. It's got a contrasting stitch. It is a dark brown calfskin. You can see it's got sheer cut sides showing the layers of construction. Calfskin on the top, calfskin on the bottom. It is a brand new IWC factory strap, and it's paired with a standard IWC steel pin buckle to match the steel case with a combination of polish and satination for decoration. The case is simple. I like the fact, however, that the lugs are given a little bit of nuance. They're broken out from the case band. You see how they don't just flow seamlessly like a lot of the other Pilot's watches? Instead, they have a little bit of a step and then a joint, which means the watch reads as three pieces: lug, mid-case, and lug when viewed from the side. A big surprise here is that the bezel, which is all of high polish, the lug hoods are also polished, but the bezel actually features captive construction. Here you can see screws are used to fix the bezel to the case. That's something I'm used to seeing on Breitling and Zinn watches. I'm not used to seeing that on IWC. I like it. It means this is a more expensive bezel to make, and because of the screws, the bezel can't accidentally be snapped off by impact. This is actually a system for making a bezel tougher and more expensive in the process. But again, that's the problem for the first owner. This is a watch that you're buying with the captive bezel, effectively at no extra charge on the secondary market. That's a feature you want. The crown, as you can see, is oversized, but it's a modern IWC logo and Probus Scafusia motto style crown, so a good solid watch made in Schaffhausen. The bezel is elaborately coined, and it is a timing bezel with an interior index. So you line it up with the minute hand or the hour hand, and you'll note that there is no additional calibration, so you're going to have to eyeball it and approximate, but it can be used for timing. And you will note that the watch features cathedral-style hands with individual framed segments for both hours and minutes, and they've managed to hide a little heart icon at the end of the hour hand. The watch features a railroad track outboard, white-on black printing, and a matte black dial base that's both true to history and glare resistant. Small seconds down at 6 o'clock, and then large first, third, 20th century Arabic numerals vertically arrayed. The font used, very nostalgic here. And I also applaud IWC for not using Fotina. This would have been so tempting to a watch designer from Panerai. The fact that they used modern loom means this is a modern tribute and not an attempt to cop a vintage patina look, which is the equivalent, horologically speaking, of wearing pre-torn jeans. Good job, IWC. Turning it over, a familiar face from the IWC Portuguese hand wound. This is the caliber 98-300. It is a pocket watch style movement, and it is immense. It is 37.8 millimeters in diameter, so as pocket watch movements tend to be, it's huge, it's broad, it's flat, and it's like a case study in elementary watchmaking. You can follow the power from the crown through the crown wheel, past the pocket watch style click with swan's neck click spring. Then there's the ratchet wheel atop the barrel, and then in golden chaton pocket watch style, we've got the pivot jewels for the center wheel, the third wheel, the fourth wheel, and then the escape wheel, with a colossal balance that's almost the radius of the movement, beating away at 18,000 vibrations per hour. Now the watch does have an enormous hacking seconds lever, so you can set it precisely to a reference time. It is an 18 jewel movement with a 46-hour manual wind power reserve, and it is handsomely executed with mostly machine applied but thoughtfully designed finish, and it is adjusted by hand in 5 positions, which means along with the overcoil hairspring, they have made efforts to ensure that the watch keeps regular time in any of the standard positions used in a chronometer test. So while it is not chronometer certified, it has been adjusted to that type of standard. And again, it does have that overcoil for concentric breathing of the hairspring in any physical position. We also have a pocket watch style 3/4 bridge and an extended Jones arrow index, an enormous micrometric regulator that's a tribute to the American-born founder of IWC Schaffhausen, F.A. Jones of Boston. This was his original innovation. There's engine turning on the base plate, Côte de Genève across the bridges, and as you can see, all of the wheels, including the crown wheel and the ratchet wheel, feature a satination across their tops. It is, to put it mildly, a good-looking movement and a true pocket watch movement. Reach out to Tim Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. Back with the IWC Vintage Pilot Watch, note that the anterior index of the mobile bezel is itself loomed.